So it's always a fascinating challenge to put a composition that's brand new and of such huge scope together. Having the composer in the room, but together with the huge variety of forces, the jazz musicians, the chorus, the Chinese musicians. When you have this fusion of different elements, you're the one that's responsible for bringing it all together, making sure that each part and moment of the piece is presented in the most like engaging and professional and beautiful way possible. So it's a coordination role, but it's also an enabling role, letting people bring their talent, and there were so many talented people on stage, and giving them the chance to show it. I think the most special moment in the whole process was the opening chords of the first rehearsal, where because you're aware of the huge amount of work, the hours and hours of composition, of collaboration, of transcription, of getting the necessary people together, organizing the orchestra, that when you give the downbeat and the first note is played, that's an incredibly powerful moment. Everything comes together to just these few rehearsals, just these few hours where we're together and we're working out this new piece and how it's going to be presented to audiences and people's ears for the first time. It's a really magical experience. Yeah, there was a real genuine feel of collaboration and connection between the musicians on stage. And they are musicians that might not necessarily always work together. Like you don't always have jazz soloists working with symphonic orchestra musicians, working with Chinese instrumentalists. I felt all the way through the process that it was a real team effort. Professional musicians from all various backgrounds came together to present this very special experience. It's very rare to have a composition of new music on this scope and composed on this very grand scale. And so as a conductor with this huge score of hundreds of pages, some of it improvised, you have no idea what's going to happen for a lot of it. To combine the various forces in the context of a new composition was a very exciting challenge. It took a very careful preparation and rehearsal to make sure that we were getting through this vast score and also getting the character and the intention that Vince wanted, trying to get the musicians to understand the underlying themes, trying to get musicians to understand the underlying styles so that it was convincing. So orchestras are sometimes reluctant to take risks, sometimes reluctant to do an experimental work or something new because they don't have the guarantee or the perceived guarantee that it's going to be a success. So I really applaud Capital Philharmonic and any organization that's willing to strategically put on a piece with that level of uncertainty. But what I think we've seen and what we saw was that people do want these unusual experiences. They do want the once in a lifetime performances. They do want something memorable that they can take away. And people are still talking about it to me weeks later. That doesn't happen, however good the performance is in other areas. So there is a demand and there is a desire for these unique experiences. And if the orchestra gets it right, brings the right people together, and presents it in a really exciting way, of course, people will enjoy it.